This next video here is kind of something that we've talked about before, but just about how the pharmaceutical companies have captured the government and how they can work together with the government and the media to basically, as Woody Allen said in his SNL stand-up last weekend or whenever, said it that these drug cartel companies can use their influence in the media and the government to force everybody to take their products and potentially get hooked on them for life.
We have paid for the development of these vaccines, and we have paid to purchase these vaccines through the government, and now we're going to have them marketed on us so that all these companies can make even more billions in profit. There's so much money sloshing around the system in big pharma that they're able to corrupt almost everything that they touch, and they do. And we've got to deal with it. We've let this thing fester. We've let it go on. We've let the conflict of interest build and build and build until the pharmaceutical industry is basically, to a significant extent, compromised our entire government and also compromised big tech and also compromised media. And I don't know how we take back our country. I don't know how we prevent them from actively inserting ideas and falsehoods into people's minds. But that's what they're doing.
Pfizer expects to make $33.5 billion in vaccine revenue in 2021. That seems like a lot of money. Moderna says it doesn't intend to profit from its COVID vaccine, yet estimates its 2021 revenue will be up 22 times higher than their revenue in 2020. In fact, Moderna's stock is up 230% from last year. Not 50%, not 100%, 230% from last year. So I think this gives validity to what you're saying. And of course,
even further, Bill Gates is on record bragging that he's had a 20-fold, that's 20 times, that's not 200-fold. I mean, that's not 200%, that's 2,000% of a return on investment from Bill Gates' investment in vaccine companies, okay? He's not giving money to vaccine companies, he's making money on vaccine companies. This is the case. You know, we always think if you dial into PBS, you see the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is bankrolling PBS. Well, it turns out that name, Robert Wood Johnson, comes from the fact that Robert Wood Johnson is one of the largest shareholders of the company called Johnson & Johnson. And it just so happens that Robert Wood Johnson is shoveling money into these fact-checker ankle biters to try to defend and take down folks like you and me that are saying things they find uncomfortable. As you've said, it doesn't matter if you retort and show that their, quote, fact checkers were wrong. They'll never say sorry. They'll never pull it down. It doesn't matter because their job is not to ascertain truth. Their job is to reinforce the dominant narrative that the vaccine companies and the pharmaceutical industry want.
This article, written back in 2020, in a business driven by profit, vaccines have a problem. They're not very profitable, at least not without government subsidies. Pharma companies favor expensive medicines that must be taken repeatedly and generate revenue for years or decades. Vaccines are often given only once or twice. In many parts of the world, established vaccines cost a few dollars per dose or less. So that's also something that they show in the TV show Dope Sick that the pharmaceutical companies figured out. Initially, the Oxycontin was just used for people like in very high levels of pain, like end of life, like last couple of days of your life. And they're like, this isn't profitable. The people who are using it like die after 2 days. We need to start convincing doctors to prescribe this to people for everyday pain. And seems like they've run into the same problem With vaccines, that you typically only get a few of these once or twice in your life, and they're not making a lot of money off of it. So what a better way to have a profit incentive than to make everybody need to get it every 3 months.